Alright, let's do a quick recap of NFL Week 4. I believe I might have gotten like five games wrong, and then the Packers and Cowboys game might have gave me a tie. But let's just verify that. That's what an educated guess. That's still better than last week. Last week was terrible. It was 8-8 last week. And then the previous week I was 13-3, and then the first week of the season I was 12-4. So I still have more wins than losses. I'm laying in my bed right now, so if I sound a little bit weird, well, it is what it is. I like to lay in my bed when I do these videos. I had the Seattle Seahawks over the Arizona Cardinals. Seattle controlled most of this game, and then the Cardinals made a comeback very late in the game. Same thing with Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota made a comeback late in the game. Arizona was making really boneheaded decisions, in my opinion. But also, I don't know, to be honest, I don't know what Mike Tomlin was seeing, or whoever elected to go for that touchdown when I know the offensive players wanted it, but they should have just kicked a field goal because they would have been up 13 points, and I think that the momentum would have never been on the Vikings side, because when the Vikings stopped the Steelers from getting a touchdown, all the momentum went on the Vikings side, and it changed the perplexity of that game. Is that the word I'm looking for? Anyways, I thought that was a mistake, but then again, I don't know what Mike Tomlin was seeing. I don't know what the offensive defensive coordinators of the Steelers were seeing. Like, there's a lot of factors that go into it. Maybe they thought the defense of the Steelers was tired, the stamina was running out, or if they were getting tired. Maybe they felt like they really needed that touchdown. I don't know. All I know is it gave the Vikings momentum, and then Carson Wentz was playing very well after that, and almost made a comeback. A comeback almost happened in this game, and I don't know. The next game we have is the Washington Redskins at the Atlanta Falcons. This is one of the games I got wrong. So that's one wrong. Bills beat the Saints. This was competitive at times, I know that. So if you look at the final score, you don't think it's as competitive, but it was pretty. It was close at majority of this game from what I was seeing on the red zone, I believe. I had the red zone on, and then I was watching my main Eagles thing. I was mostly watching the Eagles game, so I was only catching parts of this. This was a 1 o'clock game, I believe, the Saints and the Bills, I believe. So I was more focused on my Eagles game, obviously, since I'm an Eagles fan. Cleveland Browns. And verify, for people who haven't seen my previous videos, I'm not like a bandwagoner. It's like, oh, I jumped on the Eagles bandwagon now that they're good. Well, I was born in South Jersey, and I'm only 20 minutes away from Philadelphia, so I'm going to say that I have the right to call myself a Philadelphia Eagles fan, since I only live like 20 minutes away from the stadium. I mean, it's not that far away. Most of the players live in South Jersey. I wonder why, because it's probably not fun to live in Philly. Even though, it's funny thing is, my oldest brother used to live in Philly, but he lived in an area where it was pretty bad. I think there was a certain spot. Well, he lived in a couple of areas in Philly. There was, I think, one spot wasn't that bad. I think it was an apartment complex. That was actually, I met a lot of nice people there. I think I met somebody that was from Bosnia or something like that from that apartment complex, and her child when I was much younger. But the whole point of that story is my brother then moved into like a more suburban area in the city, or I don't know if that's how you would label that. An urban, would that be an urban area? But he moved there, and then somebody got killed right in front of his house, and then he moved. He moved after that. So yeah, like the city has a lot of violence. No wonder why the Eagles players don't want to live there. Democrat cities, wonderful. Cleveland Browns at the Detroit Lions. We all had the Lions. Okay, and most of us had the Texans, I believe. I saw a couple people picking the Titans, but it was mostly Titans fans, and like. Of course, they want to see their team win, but their team's really bad. The Carolina Panthers at the Patriots. I did pick the Panthers. It's a second loss. I don't know why I picked this. Maybe I got some hatred towards the Patriots. Maybe I have a bias. I don't know. I don't know why I would have picked this, but I did pick the Panthers. It's probably because the Panthers looked great against their divisional opponent, the Falcons. I was thinking, they'll go on the Patriots and win, and because I haven't been overly impressed by the Patriots this year, but like. The Panthers do this every year where they have like a one good game and then they start stinking again. I don't know why. I don't know what the hell I saw in them. Well, whoop-de-doo, they beat the divisional opponent they know very well. So it's a second loss for me. Almost everybody got this game wrong. I didn't see many people picking the Giants. I'm sure the Giants fans weren't really picking them. Maybe some Giants fans were because they were like, Jackson Dart is starting. But even then or something like that, I don't think you think like, just because somebody's starting, that's going to change the complexity of the whole game. But it did to some extent. It really got the Giants going. Sad. It's very sad. I think Malik Neighbors, I believe that's his name, their top receiver for the Giants, he went down. I think he might be out for the rest of the season. I think he's got, is it a torn ACL or is that somebody else I'm thinking of? I think it's him. That sucks because, I don't know. I like my Eagles to play the Giants at least with being healthy. I don't like to be like, oh, well, now we can take advantage of that. But, it is what it is. It's part of the sport. It sucks. I don't root for that against my opponents in my division. And it sucks because the Giants did very good in this game. They upset a pretty good Chargers team. But I think the Chargers went in this game. I think people didn't realize. I think they were so that's a third loss for me, I believe. The Chargers went in this game. I think they had some offensive line problems. That's why they were able to get to Justin Herbert at times. I think I was hearing like I don't know, somebody was talking about it. I don't know. I think maybe the NFL, maybe they were talking about like on like Monday Night Football. It might have been Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, or maybe it was somebody else's broadcast. Somebody was talking about it. We have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I did pick my team this week. The only time I only picked against my team once this year, and it was against the Rams. I thought the Rams were really going to get us because I just felt like I don't know, the Rams. I like the Rams. These are the three best teams in the NFC in my personal opinion. I think it goes Philadelphia Eagles, and then it goes the Los Angeles Rams, and then it goes Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Those are the top three teams. You can put them in any order. I kind of think it's that order in my personal opinion. Even though the Eagles have a history of just doing bad against Baker Mayfield and the Bucs, I still think I would rank the Rams a little bit over the Bucs. In my personal opinion, you can disagree if you want. But anyways, those are the top three teams. I think one of those three teams are probably going to represent in the Super Bowl. Hopefully it's my team again. But like, if it's one of the others, like I have respect for all these teams. I'm not going to be like, oh, bitter because if you beat my team and you go on and you go to the Super Bowl or something like that. I'm not that type of sports fan. Obviously, I want my Eagles to repeat. So I hope they do, and I think they're very capable of doing it. But you got to know that there's other talented teams in the NFC, and these are the top three talented teams in the NFC. Before this week, I would have probably thrown the Packers name in there. Maybe you can throw the Lions in there. Maybe you say the Lions are like one of these. You can even say they're one of the top three, but I'd put them in the top four. I don't know. The Lions are very weird at times in the sense that I know if players start going down in their team, they start like just. I don't know. They just don't look great or something like that at times. Like, what is it, Aiden Hutchinson or something like that. I saw that he got banged up, I think, in this week's game or something like that. He went back out there and still performed at a very high level, but he scares the crap out of me because I feel like he's like one of those guys that could break down at any moment. And like, if they lose Aiden Hutchinson, I think the Lions are going to be like really hurting because they kind of showed up last year against the Redskins in the playoffs. Like, they really needed him in that game. And I know, well, it's one player. I'm sorry, one player can definitely make a difference in any game. Like, if they're that key of a player, and he's very important to that Lions defense. So you can say those are the top four teams, whatever. You can put it in any order, in your opinion. I probably would put it Eagles, I'd probably put it Rams, and I'd put it Buccaneers, and I'd probably put it Lions. But you can also, if you think the Lions, if you rank the Lions personally better than the Bucs or the Rams, you could probably put them in a second slot. Or even if you think God forbid, if you think that the Lions are better than my team, you can put them in front too and stuff like that. Just because a team's undefeated doesn't mean that they're the best of the best, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of factors that go into it, like scheduling and all types of crap. So you can never, like, just because a team's undefeated, you don't just rank them automatically at the number one spot. I think the Eagles are number one. I think the talent is showing. I think they're blocking a lot of, like, they were blocking a lot of field goals in a couple of games. I think they did it in the Buccaneers game too, I believe, yeah. And then they ran it back for a touch. Was that the one game they ran? I think they ran it. Did they run it back for a touchdown? Yeah, they did. That might have been the actually previous game. That might have been the Rams game, the end of the Rams game. What did we do in this one? We blocked the field goal, and then did we get the ball, and then we ended up going down the field? I forget. There's a lot of things that are going on in these football games, and it's a lot of stuff to digest, I guess. Anyways, let's move on. The Indianapolis Colts at the Rams. I picked the Rams to win this game, so I'm only at 3 losses right now. I did pick the San Francisco 49ers to win at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I got that one wrong. That's a fourth loss. I did pick the Chiefs to beat the Ravens. Most people were picking the Ravens. I don't know why. I saw a lot of experts pick the Ravens. I was not impressed by the Ravens against the Lions. And the Ravens have been fumbling the ball a lot. I don't know if they fumbled it in this game or something like that, but I just know that they just don't look good. Their defense looks very shaky and suspect. I think I'm hearing that they're dealing with injuries in their defense, and I don't know if that's true or not, or if I misheard. But yeah, their defense just doesn't impress me at all. And the Chiefs, they did really good in this game. How many touchdowns did Mahomes get? I don't know, like 4 or 5. I don't even know what the math of that is. That it's like, you got a lot. You got a lot. All I know is that from the highlights, he looked really good. We have the Chicago Bears at the Raiders. I picked the Bears in this game. Oh wait, they only got 4 losses. I think I only have 4 losses. Yeah, that's cool. I think I only have 4 losses if I did the math right. And then I got a tie. So actually, I did better than I thought this week. So what is it? And I got these games right. This game wasn't really as close as the score indicated. The Dolphins were pretty much beating them up the entire game. The Jets came back late. Justin Fields did have a good. He made that one player miss, and then he ran in for a touchdown. That was a beautiful. Run from him. Scramble. I don't want to say run. Run is kind of an insult when you say it about a quarterback because they could do passing and scrambling. I meant scrambling. I didn't mean to be like, I don't know, whatever. I mean, some people might not be sensitive about that, but whatever. The Broncos just obliterated the Bengals, similar to what the Vikings did. The Bengals are bad. They're terrible. I'm sorry, Bengals fans. It is what it is. And I did pick the Broncos, and I did pick the Dolphins to win. So I got 1, 2, and I got 3, 4, and I got 5, 6, and I got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I got 11 wins, 4 losses, and a tie. Okay, 11 wins, 4 losses, and a tie. Let's move on to week 5. Okay, I'll take that. That's way better than 8. 8 and 8, that's for sure. And also, I'm doing this for fun. I'm not betting or anything like that. We have the San Francisco 49ers at the Los Angeles Rams. This is an easy game for me to pick. After the 49ers just lost to the Jaguars, and the 49ers are beaten up. I think I heard that they have more injuries or something like that. I don't know. Brock Purdy didn't look great in his return. I think he got intercepted. I don't know if it was once or twice, but it didn't look great, and it obviously affected the game because they lost not by a lot against the Jaguars, so turning the ball over can definitely cost you a game in a close game. Obviously. I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams. They're at home. I think they're the better football team. At this point in time, I think they're the better football team. I think they're the healthier football team, too, at this point in time, too. And I don't know, it's divisional games. These sometimes go close, but I actually wouldn't be shocked if the Rams kind of blew the Niners out a little bit. I think the Niners might crawl back late to make it look closer than it really is, but I think the Rams are going to take care of business in Los Angeles. Next game we have is the Minnesota Vikings at the Cleveland Browns. Which country is this taking place at? 9:30 a.m. in the morning. The Vikings were just in Ireland, so they're going to get another away game in another country. I don't know where this is supposed to be taking place. It doesn't say. I'm going to take... Browns do have a defense, but the Browns offense still stinks pretty bad. They did put up 19 points against the... I think, was that the Lions they were playing? No, wait a second. I got the games mixed up. Who played the Lions recently? No, it was the Browns, but who played the Buffalo Bills? Who put up 19 points in the... Oh, that was the Saints. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think they're a better team. I think the Vikings got something going late in the game, but that was also thanks because Steelers did a boneheaded decision where they should have just kicked the field goal and had a 13-point... I don't think there was much time left. I don't know if it was like 6 or 7 minutes left in the clock. All I know is that momentum swung when they couldn't get that touchdown, and it re-energized the Vikings, and the Vikings almost had a comeback win against the Steelers. And you can't do that. You got to be smarter. But at the same time, like I said, I don't know if Mike Tomlin or somebody thought that maybe the defense of the Steelers was tiring out or something like that. Maybe they felt like they really needed that touchdown. I have no idea what he was seeing. I'm not on the field, so I can't view it that way. I'm viewing it as a fan. But anyways, I want to take the Minnesota Vikings to beat the Browns. This is supposedly a home game for the Browns, but it's not. And this is kind of weird or stuff like that. So I guess because they're playing 2 away games in other countries, the Vikings get the benefit of not counting this as a home game for them for 2 back-to-back games. Because I think it was for the Pittsburgh Steelers at Pittsburgh Steelers in Ireland, I believe. The next game we have the Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to take the oh man. Is Lamar Jackson, is he injured? I think he might be out. I'm not sure. I know he left the game. And I don't know who's is the backup the Ravens. Is it Cooper Rush? He was pretty good in Dallas. But I don't like that Ravens defense. I can see the Texans starting to get something going against that. There's something wrong with that Ravens defense. And I know the Ravens fans are not going to like this, but I think I'm gonna go with the Texans on the road. I don't know. I don't like the Ravens. I think they're bad. I think there's something wrong with that team. Now, if the Ravens are going to heavily have to rely on Derrick Henry, he's healthy, I believe. But I don't know. I think I like C.J. Stroud and the Texans. This might be a stupid pick, especially since Baltimore's at home. But like something's wrong with that Baltimore team. I'm telling you, Lo. I told you last week when I was picking the Chiefs. I felt like I was shocked that. Well, I didn't see anybody before that. I don't. When I make these videos, I don't want to be influenced by other people. People do early picks. I used to do early picks, but now I have to go back and watch those YouTube channels after I make this video because they posted their picks on Monday today, before the games, before the Jets and the Dolphins and the what other game was it? The Bengals and the Bengals and the Broncos game. Yeah, I'm going with the Texans. I think it's an upset, I would imagine, because I'm sure the Ravens are probably slight favorites at home, but they've been playing bad ball, really bad ball. Miami Dolphins at the Carolina Panthers. I'm gonna go with the Miami Dolphins. They played pretty good tonight. I still think their defense might be a little bit questionable at times, but who knows? The Jets got probably basically a garbage time touchdown. I don't know. I think I shut that game off because what was I doing? I might have been testing out a video game or something on my new graphics card, my new RTX 570 Asus. And it's a decent graphics card. I'm coming from a 3070. It's not as big of a jump I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more. I don't know. I thought it was going to be a little more, but maybe I was because I'm thinking like all these stuff is expensive. Like you're paying over $600 for a freaking graphics card. Things are expensive, but it's not. People like to blame and say, "Oh, it's Trump's tariffs." But the problem is, these prices for graphics cards, where they're at right now, they are at MSRP. I also went for the more expensive one. I went with the Asus Tough Edition or something like that. That's supposed to have a better cooler on it. But it is basically MSRP. It's just, I don't know. It's expensive. Graphics cards have always been expensive. Even, it doesn't matter the administration and the tariffs. People like to blame the tariffs. But these prices for graphics cards were... I was looking at them when Biden was in office and his administration, and they were the same. They were expensive. They're always expensive. We have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts. Next game we have is the New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints. This is going to be a tough environment for Jackson Dart, but I do think the Giants will pull this out. It might be close. I don't know. It's hard for me to pick the Saints to beat anybody. The Saints and the Jets are some of the worst teams in the football right now. They've been competitive with teams, but I don't know what it is. They can't find ways to win. They just can't find ways to win. So until the Jets and the Saints start winning, I'm not going to pick them. I am going to go with the New York Giants. I'm actually shocked to go with the New York Giants. Like if they're playing a little bit tougher opponent, maybe I pick their opponent, but I think Jackson Dart gets his second win of the season. 2 back-to-back wins for a Jackson Dart-led Giants team. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Like it's always tough to play New Orleans, but I think he's gonna pull it out. Dallas Cowboys at the New York Jets. Oh my God. I think Dallas Cowboys should go 2-2 and one tie. Why do I believe that? Because they're playing the Jets. The Jets are not very good. So since the Jets lost tonight, they're on a 10-game losing streak. This would be their 11th game losing streak. It'll be 11th game if the Dallas Cowboys pull this out. I think they should. But the Dallas Cowboys scare the crap out of me because I feel like they played much better when they're at home for whatever reason that is. And they look terrible against Chicago on the road. But Chicago isn't that bad. Like, Chicago's a better team than the Jets. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Because Chicago has 2 wins, the Jets have 0 wins. So, yeah. The Dallas Cowboys should win this game. I think Jets will get their fair share of points, though, because the Dallas Cowboys' passing defense is terrible. Dallas is good at stopping the run at times, but their passing game is non-existent. That passing game is like a tissue paper, just rips it. It's non-existent. And Dallas fans know this. I was watching Mark Holmes. I was watching other Dallas Cowboys fans talk about it. Like, they know their passing game defense. Well, obviously, if you have eyes, you can tell the passing defense is terrible in the Dallas Cowboys. But I think that they should be able. They're gonna. Dallas, the way they have to win in some probably like shootouts with teams and stuff like that. Their defense is just it's bad. It's bad. It's one of the worst in the league. And now, speaking about good defenses, now we have the Denver Broncos at my Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, I'm going to take my Philadelphia Eagles. I do respect the Broncos' defense is starting to show up a little bit, but I think the Eagles will get this done. They're at home. If this was on the road, it might be a little bit tougher. I'd probably still take my Eagles. But I think the crowd noise and all that stuff will probably get to the Broncos. The crowd has to get loud. It does bother teams, especially a young player like Bo Nix or stuff like that, because he needs to hear the play calls. Well, everybody needs to hear the play calls, but I think especially when a player is new in the league, I think it definitely hurts more than a veteran. Like, Jalen Hurts is now a veteran. He's been in the league for how many years now? It's like 5 or 6 years. He's been in the league for a while, I believe. Bo Nix is only his 2nd season. Actually, when was it? When did he start for us? I can't even remember. Was it 2019, 2020? Anyways, I got my Eagles. The Tennessee Titans at the Arizona Cardinals. I have the Arizona Cardinals winning this game. I'm not picking the Titans to win until they actually win a game. Like this, I don't have much respect for the Titans. I don't have much respect for the Jets. I don't have much respect for the Saints. These are 3 teams that just aren't doing well this year. I think I think all 3 teams were predicted kind of. Well, the Jets. I did see people saying that they were supposed to be a little bit better than what they're showing so far. Like, you expect them to already get a win, but they haven't been able to get one. But like the Titans and the Saints, I think they both were expected to kind of be bad this year. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Seattle Seahawks. This is a great game. You know, and stupid me, when I was talking about who's a great team, these are the top 4 teams. I had the Lions in there, and I had my Eagles, stuff like that. I left out the Seattle Seahawks. We can make them the top 5 teams in the league. Top 5 teams in the NFC side, I mean. That's a side I'd obviously paid more attention to since that's the team. I mean, that's where my team is in the NFC side. Wow. This is a very hard pick. I think I'm going to go with Tampa, but Tampa is a little banged up. And maybe I'm giving Tampa a little bit too much props just because I know that, like, they've always been the Eagles' kryptonite, so when we saw them coming back against us, it was not too shocking, and I don't know if that's more to do with the Eagles just not doing well against Tampa at times, or if the Tampa's really as good as they are. It's going to be a very tough game, but I'm going to take Tampa in a close game. I'll say it by a field goal. Seattle's really good, especially at home. Seattle's very hard to beat at home. but I think Tampa's going to do it. Maybe I'm overrating Tampa a little bit. I think I can see a lot of people picking Seattle, but I'm going to go with Tampa. I think they get back on track. It's going to be a good game. I don't know. It's pretty good. Both quarterbacks are pretty good. We got, for Seattle, it's a guy that was with the Vikings last year. Oh, yeah, Sam Darnold. You got Sam Darnold versus Baker Mayfield. Both are pretty good quarterbacks, in my opinion. Definitely a game that could go either way. This is a coin flip game, obviously. No disrespect to the Seattle, even though I should have mentioned them earlier. Just my brain's been all over the place lately. That's my friend's team, actually. So I don't even know if he watches my channel. He might watch it and be like, "What the hell? You didn't show us enough props." Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Detroit Lions at the Cincinnati Bengals. Detroit should win this game. The Bengals are terrible. I don't know if the Bengals are gonna be able to do anything this year. I mean, if they don't start winning some of these games, they're gonna be in trouble. Like if Joe Burrow, I don't know if he's expected to come back this season. I think he is. Wasn't there talk about maybe December or January he might come back? But like, if the Bengals aren't in a playoff hunt, it might not matter. They have to start winning games. Now they're at 500. They still have a chance, but like, how much of a chance? You have Detroit, who's clearly the better football team, coming into your house. I mean, weird things do happen, but I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. They should win. They're one of the better teams in the NFC. And Bengals are not good right now. We have the Washington Redskins at the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't like hearing about like the Chargers having issues with their O-line. And that scares the hell out of me. I think that's a big weakness. And I think, I don't know, man. If the Giants, who I think might not be great, it was in New York, so it might have been a little bit, I don't know. I didn't like that loss by the Chargers against the Giants. I think that it was really bad. I definitely can see the Redskins going on the road and upsetting the Chargers, because I'm sure the Chargers will be the favorite. I think I'm going to pick that. I think I'm going to go with the Redskins. Sorry, Chargers fans. The next game we have are the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. Divisional game. I'm definitely going with the Buffalo Bills. Until somebody beats the Buffalo Bills, I'm probably going to be rolling with the Bills and the Eagles. Just let everybody know that. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of people are going to be picking the Bills and the Eagles to win until somebody actually beats them, because those look like the two best teams in the league right now. I think the Bills have a little bit weak spot on their defense, but the thing is, the Bills have one of the best offense. Might be the best offense in the league. They might have the best offense in the league. I haven't looked at the stats wise, but like Josh Allen and that offense are ridiculous. That's why they were able to come back on the Ravens. That and the Ravens defense is trash. But credit to the Bills offense. Like, they're legit 4-0, just like my Eagles are. And maybe sometimes people look at it and say, well, the Eagles and Bills are both squeaking out these wins, and this is why they're undefeated. Well, they're undefeated. Both are undefeated. Maybe we squeak out wins sometimes. Maybe it's tougher than both teams would want it, but they find a way to win. That's what winners do. The Bills are finding ways to win. Congratulations to the Bills. And I think the Eagles and the Bills are the two top teams in the NFL right now. Now, that can obviously change with injuries can play a factor sometimes. But I think some of the backups are, well, the Eagles or something like that. I've seen like the guy that came in for Lane Johnson a couple times. I don't know if he stunk and then they put the third stringer in and then he started doing well or something like that. Something like that happened with the Eagles in that, was it the Rams game that happened then? And then I know Lane Johnson also went down in the Tampa Bay game too. But yeah, Eagles, for any team, you want to have decent backups, like, because you never know what's going to happen. Players do get hurt. Yeah, I got the Bills. I think the Bills, I'm not going to say they're going to crush their divisional opponent because the Patriots are showing some life, but I think the Bills do find a way to win this game, probably by at least a touchdown. And I'm making it that close just because these two teams know each other, and I think that the Patriots will come to play. But ultimately, I think the Bills go 5-0. Next game, we have Monday, October 6th. We have the Kansas City Chiefs at Jacksonville. This is going to be a very entertaining game. It could definitely probably go either way, but I am going to pick the Patrick Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs. I think it's very hard to go against the Chiefs when we just seen what they did to the Ravens. Yes, the Ravens look very flawed lately and don't look as great as some people thought they were going to look this season, especially early in the season. They thought they were going to look a lot better than they have. But the Chiefs are the only team that blow out the Ravens. Like the Ravens lost close ones to the Bills. They lost a close one to who was that before? Oh, the Detroit Lions. Those are all good teams they're losing to. Like the Ravens, they were losing. The Ravens. The only losses the Ravens have this year are the three very talented teams. But the only win the Ravens have is against the Browns, who have no offense. But yeah, I got the Chiefs in this game. I could definitely see maybe an upset happen or something like that. It could be a very close game, but I just think the Chiefs are a better football team. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. I'm dragging this on.